Most men over 50 believe they are becoming invisible. They walk through the world thinking the eyes of the room have moved on to younger, louder men. But they could not be more wrong. In the world of feminine psychology, a mature man isn't invisible. He is a mystery to be solved. But here is the catch. A woman will never tell you she's attracted to you directly. She won't risk looking needy, and she definitely won't risk rejection. Instead, she will test your awareness. She will drop two specific, seemingly innocent questions into a conversation. They sound like small talk, but they are actually emotional bridges. If you cross them, the door to intimacy opens. If you miss them, she will close that door, and she likely won't open it again. Today, we are decoding the hidden language of attraction. By the end of this video, you will never look at a casual conversation the same way again. Why does a woman choose questions over statements? To understand this, we have to look at the power dynamics of attraction. For a woman, especially one drawn to an older man, the primary desire is emotional safety. She isn't just looking for a guy, she's looking for a presence. She wants to know if you are steady, if you are conscious, and most importantly, if you are available. There is a silent fear many women carry, the fear of being too much for a man who has already settled into his life. They assume a man over 50 has already written his story. They worry that if they show interest, they'll be seen as an interruption to your peace. So, she hides her attraction inside curiosity. She uses questions as a ping, like sonar, to see if there's a solid object on the other end. The first question she asks is, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" It sounds like a polite inquiry about your hobbies or your schedule, but psychologically, she is asking, "Is there room for me?" When a woman asks if you spend a lot of time alone or asks, "Do you usually go out by yourself?" she is checking for access. She has already visualized herself in your space. She is trying to determine if you are emotionally locked in your routines. A man who is too satisfied with his solitude is a man who is unavailable for a new connection. Most men answer literally. They say, "Yeah, I like my peace and quiet," or "No, I'm pretty busy with work." This fails because it tells her you are a closed system. To trigger attraction, you must show you are balanced. Try saying something like, "I value my space because it keeps me grounded, but I've always got room for the right company." You've signaled that you are a high-value man who isn't lonely, but you've left a hook for her to imagine herself as that right company. The second question is, what are you looking for these days? This is the big one. If a woman asks you this, she isn't interested in your career goals or your retirement plan. She is testing your masculine vitality. She wants to know if you are still alive inside, or are you just waiting for the clock to run out? Women are biologically and psychologically drawn to direction. A man who is drifting is a man who cannot lead. By the time a man reaches his 50s or 60s, many society-driven goals have been met. A woman needs to know if you still have an inner North Star. She is checking for alignment. She wants to see if your life is headed somewhere she could walk alongside. When a man says, "Oh, I'm just taking it one day at a time," it sounds like he has given up. It lacks the spark. You don't need a 10-year plan, you need intention. Say something like, "I'm focusing on building a chapter that's about meaningful experiences and genuine connection. I'm done with the noise. I want what's real." This shows emotional maturity and strength. It tells her you are a man of depth. Why do these questions matter more now than they did when you were 20? When you were younger, attraction was about potential. Now, it is about presence. A woman chooses a mature man because she expects him to be a finished product, not perfect, but aware. In psychology, we call this cognitive presence. It's the ability to see beneath the surface. When you recognize that her questions are actually invitations, you demonstrate a level of social intelligence that is incredibly rare and highly addictive to women. She isn't testing your wallet. She is testing your vibe. Are you calm? Are you secure? Can you handle the weight of her emotions without flinching? Remember, feminine psychology is layered. Women use questions the way men use actions. If you miss the sign, you miss the moment. And once a door is closed, it rarely opens twice. Next time you are talking to a woman and she asks about your solitude or your direction, stop. Don't just give a factual answer, give an emotional invitation. In the comments below, I want you to type the phrase, "I see the signs." It's a signal to yourself and this community that you are no longer moving through the world on autopilot. You are becoming a man of awareness. If you found this breakdown of feminine psychology helpful, hit the like button. It helps us reach more men who need to remember their own value. And if you want to dive deeper into the dark psychology of human behavior, make sure you are subscribed to Decode the Mind. Your presence is your power. Use it.